আচ্ছা, ইনি হলেন আজিজ আর এইজন হারিস। হারিস খুনের অভিযোগে পলাতক, অথচ সে এই বড় জাঁকজমক একটি বিয়ের অনুষ্ঠানে এসেছেন। সেখানে চিফ অফ আর্মি স্টাফ উপস্থিত আছেন।
হারিসের মতো আনিসও মালয়েশিয়া থেকে ঢাকায় ছুটে এসেছেন।
অবিশ্বাস্য ব্যাপার, কারণ এরা গ্যাংস্টার। সরকারিভাবে বাংলাদেশের পুলিশ ওনাদের গ্রেফতার করার জন্য খুঁজছে, অথচ ওনারা একটা বিয়ের অনুষ্ঠানে উপস্থিত এবং আর্মি চিফ নিজেও সেখানে আছেন। ওনারা সবাই মিলে পার্টি করছেন।
দেশের ঊর্ধ্বতন সামরিক কর্মকর্তা, ক্ষমতাধর রাজনৈতিক নেতা ও বিদেশি বিশিষ্টজনরা উপস্থিত। আর ভাইদের মধ্যে সর্বকনিষ্ঠ জোসেফ, যিনি হত্যার দায়ে দোষী সাব্যস্ত হয়েও পরে ক্ষমা পেয়েছেন, তিনিও আছেন এখানে।
আচ্ছা দেখুন, ইনি বাংলাদেশের প্রেসিডেন্ট।
তাকে ক্ষমা করেছিলেন বাংলাদেশের রাষ্ট্রপতি মোহাম্মদ আব্দুল হামিদ।
বাংলাদেশের প্রেসিডেন্ট এই দুই পলাতক আসামিদের সঙ্গে একটি বিয়ের অনুষ্ঠানে উপস্থিত, যাদেরকে গ্রেফতার করা উচিত।
আনিসের ছেলেও উদযাপনে মেতেছেন। দুর্নীতি বিরোধী প্রতিশ্রুতি দিয়ে নির্বাচনী প্রচার চালাচ্ছেন এই উদীয়মান রাজনৈতিক নেতা।
এদের পরবর্তী প্রজন্মকে এরা যথাযথ স্থানে বসিয়ে দিচ্ছে, এবং যদি এভাবেই চলতে থাকে এবং এদের স্ট্র্যাটেজি এভাবেই যায়, তাহলে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি এদের দ্বিতীয় প্রজন্ম এতে স্থান নেবে এবং বাংলাদেশকে একটি মাফিয়া রাষ্ট্রে পরিণত করবে।
আওয়ামী লীগকে যে কথাটা আমি জিজ্ঞেস করতে চাই, এই ডকুমেন্টারিতে আপনারা ভুল কোথায় দেখলেন, ষড়যন্ত্র কোথায় দেখলেন, ক্রাইম কোথায় দেখলেন? আপনাদের বিরুদ্ধে আল জাজিরা ষড়যন্ত্র করেছে, মিথ্যা রিপোর্ট দিয়েছে, মিথ্যা রিপোর্টিং, false reporting. Where did you see it? Throughout the documentary, can you pinpoint even 1 second that is conspiracy? Why do you always defend wrongs, crimes, organized crime? Army League for the last 13 years, I'm telling you, you have been supporting, patronizing and entertaining the organized crime committed by Sheikh Hasina. It's a classic example of organized crime. Al Jazeera documentary, it exposed her organized crime activities for the last 13 years. Can't deny it. Al Jazeera brought all the concrete evidences and proofs which you cannot negate by saying Rajakar, Galigalas, BNP Jamaat. You cannot disprove this hard-working men and women behind this Al Jazeera documentary against our organized crime industry running for the last 13 years. If you want to take them to court and prove them wrong, why don't you do it? If you think that BNP and Jamaat funded it, then why don't you take them to court? For last 13 years, you have been constantly abusing people about BNP and Jamaat as ষড়যন্ত্র. Why you always defend a criminal? Why do you have to support a criminal all the time, knowing that that person committed massive crime? You cannot deny the fact that this Al Jazeera video and documentary content is full of supporting documentation and evidences which will stand in any court for any kind of trial. If you have the guts, take them to court. BNP Jamaat bole গালাগালাজ করবেন না. Do not abuse them saying that BNP and Jamaat funded this all the time for the last 13 years. There is no end of it. Al Jazeera's documentary exposed our organized crime industry to the world. It's a massive crime happening throughout Bangladesh. Each and every single institution has been brutalized, has been criminalized by Sheikh Hasina. You cannot support Sheikh Hasina for her crime. You see it. You saw in broad daylight that she's committing organized crime against humanity, against opposition, against 18 crore people, single-handedly to stay in power, and Al Jazeera has exposed this vicious criminal to the world. Let the justice prevail. Let us see what the world say. Let us see what the world do after exposing what she is doing nationally and internationally, the kind of crime through her generals, through her judiciary, through her criminal business people who have flooded our country with the criminal activities. How can you say that this documentary is a conspiracy? Why do you always find conspiracy into anything and everything? শেখ হাসিনা গত 13 বছর ধরে যা করছে, নিক্সন যখন একটা অন্যায় করলো আমেরিকাটা কিন্তু সাপোর্ট করে নাই। অল দ্য প্রেসিডেন্টস ম্যান, এই যে একটা সিনেমা নিক্সনের উপরে, কেউই কিন্তু বলে নাই যে নিক্সন ভালো করেছে, রাইট করেছে। আপনাদের মতো আওয়ামী লীগ যেরকম বলছে শেখ হাসিনা নেভার ডু রং, শেখ হাসিনা is like a more than a ফেরেস্তা, শেখ হাসিনা ক্যান নেভার ডু রং, শেখ হাসিনা ইজ দিস, শেখ হাসিনা ইজ দ্যাট। এটা আপনারা শেখ হাসিনাকে পোর্ট্রে করেছেন মোর দেন এ গড। Americans didn't do it. Americans never said President Nixon was right, so he had to resign or go to jail. So he resigned to avoid jail. When they caught Nixon's crime, Nixon left, Nixon resigned. Nobody in USA supported Nixon's crime, not even his party. Then why you are supporting Sheikh Hasina and her crime? And you saw throughout the documentary, every single second is fact, supported by factual documentation. The entire content is about organized crime. The entire content of this documentary is full of organized crime and the proof who is behind it. And Sheikh Hasina and her criminal empire. You can't say no. You cannot say that Al Jazeera, they did it because they don't like Sheikh Hasina. Al Jazeera only established a fact that is supported by many factual documentation for which they have worked so hard, so many people, for the last 2 years just to make this 1-hour documentary, and more is coming, of course. But Al Jazeera has nothing to do with Sheikh Hasina's powership. They did it to expose some criminals in Bangladesh who are eating our country up like a leech. রক্তচোষা জোশের মতো যারা এখানে আমার দেশটাকে ধ্বংস করে দিচ্ছে। We should have stopped Sheikh Hasina right after the BDR. If we could stop Sheikh Hasina after the BDR, then nothing would happen. 5 জানুয়ারি 29 ডিসেম্বর 15তম সংশোধনী, একদলীয় অধীনে সরকারের নির্বাচন, বেগম জিয়ার জেল, তারেক জিয়ার জেল, তারেক জিয়া নির্বাসন, বেগম জিয়াকে হত্যার জন্য ষড়যন্ত্র, জুডিশিয়ারিকে ধ্বংস করা, আমাদের সেনাবাহিনীকে ধ্বংস করা, কোনো কিছু ঘটতো না যদি আপনারা যদি কোঅপারেট করতেন। আওয়ামী লীগ আপনি শেখ হাসিনার ক্রাইমকে সমর্থনের বদলে কোঅপারেট করতেন। Right after the BDR genocide, she did it for her powership. It was a massive conspiracy, BDR genocide. And we have proof that she did it. It will come out after, but had we stopped her right after the BDR, then nothing would happen. Look at S.K. Sinha. Just look at S.K. Sinha. Where he is now, he is hiding in Canada. Why he is hiding in Canada? Why S.K. Sinha, Chief Justice, is hiding in Canada? Can you tell me what happened? Army League, tell me what happened to S.K. Sinha. Chief Justice S.K. Sinha take, the way you have driven him out, the way he got rid of S.K. Sinha, what was the reason behind it? It was a massive organized crime. S.K. Sinha is hiding right now in Canada. How about Moin Ahmed? What happened to Moin? General Moin? Why he is hiding in America? Why he is hiding? Can you tell me, Awami League? Can you tell me one reason why Moini Ahmed is hiding in America? What happened to him? What's the reason behind him? What was the conspiracy about bringing Sheikh Hasina into power illegally in 2008 and then triple down the crime 2014 and 18? All these generals has been engaged into criminal activities. What about Paplu MP? He's in jail. Why Papul is in jail? What is happening? What is the reason behind it? Who is making all these crimes available? Who is making the country into a lawless country? There is no law, so anybody can do any kind of crime and get away with it. Papia kando, jua kando, ei kando, sona kando, taba kando, share market kando, bank kando, looting kando, all kinds of kandos. There's no stop. There's no intervention. There's no interval. Nothing. Everything is happening in one shot, without any interruption. And all she's blaming on the other people except her. All she's blaming everybody else. Khaleda Zia, Jamaat Islam. It's unnati propaganda. She made the currency almost valueless. Money can buy nothing. There is no job. All the job is fleeing. All the job is coming, taken up by the Indians and other people. There is no job. Money has no value. People are living life that has no meaning. 18 crore people in Bangladesh. Most of them have no life. There's a suffering like hell. There is no job. People are poor. Money has become worthless in 13 years. Had we stopped her right after the BDR, nothing would have happened to this far. Al Jazeera would never make a documentary about anything in our country. Had we stopped her, right after the BDR, আমাদের আবরার হত্যাকাণ্ড, ইলিয়াস abduction, সাগরণী হত্যাকাণ্ড. You know why সাগরণী হত্যাকাণ্ড? Because it was a energy conspiracy. Sagaruni exposed the stealing of our energy from this country. It was fleeing to another country. They're stealing our energy. So many crimes happening for the last 13 years under her watch because she is the one. She is a mob boss. Why don't you understand this, Awami League? She is a mafia boss. She is a gangster boss. She is the mother of all the crimes. And we understand the organized crime. This is a typical example of organized crime. Look how he murdered the Jamaat Islam. The genocide in the Jamaat Islam she did, the crime against humanity, regardless how people say, what people say and how they say that they are not guilty. But she didn't care. She just murdered them until she could murder no more. She constantly murdered in Jamaat Islam and then she's constantly murdering inside the BNP and then putting them in jail. Look, the jail is house full. Why? Because she's a power monger. Look at all the drugs. The country is infested with the drugs. The young generation has been destroyed and the drug is really running the country. Why? Because she changed the psychology of the young people. That young people should see everything with the eye of the crime. She changed the mental makeup of the young generation. So the young generation is killing people. They are looting the country and they are just taking the drugs. So many people taking the drugs. Millions and millions of people are living on the drugs because there's no employment. Money has no value. All the money is fleeing in Begumpara, Europe, America. They're investing, looting my country. Do you remember the Dorbesh saga, the share market scandal? GMJ Airlines, money that he took from this country and gave it in another country, made billions of dollars, looting from my country. Do you remember all these parliaments full of the criminals, the thugs, who are the bank defaulters, the loan defaulters, all these criminals who are the MPs? Look at our parliament. There is no parliament. This is made a make-believe fake parliament. There is no opposition. There is no government. Everybody is one. Everybody is one body. That is called the parliament. Look at the criminal industry is set up inside the parliament. There is no parliament, but it's full of thugs and mobs and the killers and genociders and the looters. There is no parliament. There is no opposition. There are all the looters given a free access to commit crime and then stay in power, so that she stay in power for her lifetime. She's mortal. She's not immortal. Someday she's going to die. Then what is going to happen to you? Did you think about it? Do you think for a moment the country she's living for all of us, when she will not be here, she will be gone? What's going to happen to millions of people, the country, the corrupt country she's leaving behind? Your children, your country, your people. What happened to your ethics? What happened to your religion? What happened to your faith in God? Sami, he is the hero. He took a risk. He exposed this crime family, this organized mobster, to the entire world. Look at all the generals. Look at all the business people. Look at all the defaulters, loan defaulters. Look at all the looterers. Look at all the judiciaries. Look at the justice. They are taking bribe. She made them criminal. She made the justice criminals. Bunch of kids. Look at the Skype scandal. Do you remember? S.K. Sinha. They're talking about taking bribe and killing people. It's a genocide. It's a war crime. She committed. Why are you supporting Sheikh Hasina for her crime? Americans didn't support Nixon. After Nixon committed a crime, Americans trashed him. So he resigned. You should let Sheikh Hasina go. You should not support Sheikh Hasina because in broad daylight she's committing organized crime. Look at all the money. Look at all the flight of the black money. Look at all the money eroding my country, becoming worthless. Money has no value. Money can buy nothing. There is no job. People are dying. Young people are dying, taking drug. Don't you love your country? Look what is happening for the last 13 years in my country. My country was never like this. That is what Al Jazeera tried to put a light on, that Bangladesh is run by a mobster. It's a mob family. Look at all the generals, all the judiciaries. Look at S.K. Sinha, look at Moini Ahmed, look at General Aziz, look at General Masood, look at all the three illegal election taken over by the mobs in the army. And those army mobs, they bring Sheikh Hasina into power so that they can do this. So can they do what Aziz family is doing? You saw Aziz and his criminal brothers in the wedding party with the mob, with the criminal president Abdul Hamid. They should be arrested. These fugitives, these murderers, there are warrants against Aziz's brothers. Can you deny it? Then how can you blame Al Jazeera for bringing the truth? Can you deny in that party the mob brothers, the killer brothers who are not there? They should have been arrested. Rather, they are in the party, enjoying party with the criminal president Abdul Hamid. They are all criminals. They are all organized crime family. Do you know what I mean by this organized crime family? This is a classic example, textbook example of organized crime. Sheikh Hasina is running for the last 13 years for her powership. She is not running a country. She is running an organized crime factory. And all these people, loan defaulters, all these looterers, all these darbesh who are giving her hundreds and crores of bribe. And she is bribing the judiciary, she is bribing the army generals, she is bribing everybody so that she can stay in power. Our generals are not bad. Our justices are not bad. Our business people are not bad. She made them bad. She made them criminal. She made them mobster. She gave them bribe. She gave them free pass. She gave them how to commit a crime. So she can stay in power. Don't you see for the last 13 years what she is doing one after the other? One crime after the other. One crime ends, another one begins. And she cover up. One crime ends. One crime just finished. Another one jumps in. And then she blame on BNP and Jamaat. And then it die for 1 day, 2 days. Then another one come. Front page news. Jua Kando. Papia Kando. Shamrat Kando. Lik Kando. Omuk Kando. Tomuk Kando. abduction, murder, genocide, war crime for the last 13 years. That's the end of it. Look at the Jamaat Islami genocide she did. She didn't listen to anybody. She just murdered them, for which she has to face the International War Crime Tribunal Court in Hague, and she will, because it's an example of war crime. And this is where Al Jazeera supersedes anybody. We tried, we failed, we could not expose, we could do nothing. But when Al Jazeera did it, the whole world saw it, and United Nations now looking at the spyware. IMSI was purchased by Aziz and Hasina, the criminal industry, to destroy the BNP and Jamaat. I'm going to talk about IMSI in another video, another episode. But that was very, very dangerous and very, very criminal. I'm telling you, Army League, what General Aziz and DGFI and the army and everybody did about the spyware, IMSI, to surveillance the opposition and to destroy their movement, human rights, right to do politics, is very, very serious. And United Nations is looking at it because they lied in the name of United Nations. They bought it so that they can surveillance BNP and Jamaat, and that is a war crime. That is a typical example of war crime. Do not support Sheikh Hasina anymore. She's full of crimes. Do not support organized crime anymore. If you love your country, if you love your people, if you love your religion, if you respect your religion, don't support Sheikh Hasina. In broad daylight, she's committing crime after the crime for last 13 years. Look at BDR genocide. She did it so that she can stay in power. She opened up the border to the neighboring country. They are looting my country. We don't have a country. It's a mobster country. Everybody doing everything. And general population is suffering from all kinds of poverty and lawlessness and you name it. Drug took over the young generation. She changed the psychology of the young people so that they cannot think right anymore. They cannot do anything right. Only thing they can do is do wrong things. She make them criminals. They are not criminals. Our judiciary is not criminal. Our army is not criminals. Our generals are not criminals. But you saw in the video how our generals became criminal. In that wedding ceremony, you saw the criminals with the president. So they're all criminals. This is all organized crime. You can't support them. Americans didn't support them. Americans didn't support Richard Nixon, so he had to resign to avoid impeachment, to avoid jail. But you're supporting Sheikh Hasina for last 13 years, knowing fully well that she's committing organized crime. 5th January, 29 December, this fraud election. And everybody knows that it is a constitutional crime and punishable by maximum, I don't want to say the word, you know what I mean. So maximum kind of whatever, so it's punishable. She did just that. She stole the election. She stole the election 5th January and 29 December. And against that, there is a verdict called 16th Amendment for her to resign. And she did not resign. She acted like a mobster and grabbed the power once again 29 December. So she made the country so lawless, so extreme lawless that nobody now see things right and do things right. Everybody doing criminal things, and you saw that in the documentary that everything is full of lawlessness. Why don't you leave Hasina and let the law take its course? Let her face the justice. Let her go where she is needed to go. She belongs to jail for what she has been doing. Look at the share market scandal. Share market scandal. She didn't let the report be published. She abducted the report from the hands of Dr. Khalid Ibrahim. She took it because Dorbesh, Lotus Kamal, and their organized crime family members. Their names are found in the share market scandal time and time again. This is a serious and maximum crime. I'm not talking about a little crime. These are maximum crime, and you should never support these criminals ever again. Just think for a moment. When you are not here, what is going to happen to your children, to your family? What kind of country you are living? That's what Sami is saying. Sami is saying that if this generation let it be going like this, Bangladesh will turn into a mob country, mafia country. Sani said exactly what needed to be said, what we could never say it so rightfully, so perfectly, just like hero Sami. Sami is a hero, he's a patriot. He loves Bangladesh, he loves people. So he took a risk and exposed something so historical, exposed something so viciously important. So the whole world now know what is happening in Bangladesh for the last 13 years. If we stop Sheikh Hasina right after the video, Begum Jia, Tarek Jia, Jamaat, parliament, election, democracy, everything would be fine. Nothing would happen which is so criminal. Look at Begum Jia. She's suffering inside like a jailhouse. Tarek Jia is gone. Parliament is gone. Constitution gone. Election gone. Democracy gone. Law gone. Everything is gone. She looks like a human being. So she is mortal, even though she doesn't act like a human being. But think for a moment. The minute she gone, what is going to happen to your family, to your children, to your grandchildren, your country, your property, your happiness? What is going to happen? What is going to live in this world if you keep supporting this criminal? Can you tell me where, for 1 second, this documentary was less than what they are showing? Can you pinpoint 1 second where this documentary said anything wrong? Can you identify one clip about Aziz and all others that this documentary was wrong about? Can you show me anything about the content of this documentary that was wrong? Can you help me finding one piece of document that was wrong? জামায়াত বিএনপি ষড়যন্ত্র, জামায়াত বিএনপি এটা ষড়যন্ত্র করে করেছে. Can you show me one piece of document here? You can't. You can't. Everything has a documentary proof. Everything is supported by documents and more coming. So do not support Sheikh Hasina anymore. Tell her goodbye. Let the justice prevail. Let the law take its course. She should be arrested. She should have been arrested many times long before for what she has been doing continuously, unchecked, unbalanced. She is doing what she wants to do. What she thinks that she is always right. She made herself like more than a god. She made people to think that she is more than a god. She and her father is like more than a god. They portrayed a picture to the entire Bangladeshi people that they are more than a god. Don't do that. Say goodbye to Sheikh Hasina. Tell her no. And let justice prevail. I don't know what is coming, but I know in my heart that something is coming, something huge, something big. You cannot run the country with a mobster history. Look at all the mobsters. Run Africa, run other countries. Look what happened to them. I'm not going to name I'm not going to name, but there are many mobsters who run Africa and other countries and kill so many people, abducted so many people just to stay in power, just like Sheikh Hasina. Just like what Sheikh Hasina is doing to stay in power, abducting, killing people. There are many warlords in Africa and other countries. They did exactly what Sheikh Hasina has done. But do you remember the consequences, what happened to the end? They had to pay the price like a cat and a dog, like a beaten cat and a dog. All paid price in Middle East, in Africa, everywhere in the world. Nobody is above the law. It will catch up. So do not badmouth Al Jazeera. They are the hero. They are the patriot. They did something what we could not do. Sami is a hero. Sami is a patriot. Sami is a brave man. And my heart goes out to Sami. And I salute you. And I like you. You are a patriot. From the bottom of my mind, heart and soul, I say salute to Sami. What you have done for last 13 years. We had been waiting for this moment. For the last 13 years. Millions of people waiting for this moment. You are a superhuman being. This documentary proves her crime, and she should be taken out to the right place. Do not support Sheikh Hasina. Please do not support Sheikh Hasina anymore. She has turned this country into a mobster country. The word Sami said at the end of the documentary, exactly this is what is true for this moment. Right now, this is a mobster country. Right now, this country is like an organized crime factory. And she is the godmother of all the gangsters, all the mafias, all the warlords. This is what is true about this documentary. You cannot prove even 1 second of it is wrong or fictional or not true. Everything said here is 1,000,000% right and true.